Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Welcome. Glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, and we're back for another evening of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Sitting in the co-host chair is the young lady who's celebrating her 1-year anniversary and the longest running co-host on the show. So this is like some Johnny Carson stuff. This is like a Disney moment. This is like, am I supposed to give you a gold watch at this point? Oh, okay. But we appreciate Kay Renee for her just dedication, commitment, her gift, her talent, her honesty. Really, we are very honored to have you sit here with us, and we appreciate you. And thank you for helping to make the Real Chat Daddy Show be what it needs to be. So that means I got to buy lunch this week, you all. I do. All right, very good. All right, so tonight we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. Coming up this evening, June is Men's Health Awareness Month, and Father's Day is just 2 weeks away. And we're trying to encourage as many men as possible to go get a checkup, make sure your health is in order, and do all the right things. So Dr. Janet Seabrook will be here with us tonight to talk about men's health awareness and the urge to get men out there. All right, so we have a lot to talk about tonight. Our co-host, Ms. Kay Renee, and I were backstage chit-chatting and talking about everything that we need to cover tonight. How you doing, first of all? What's going on?
I am good, Chat Daddy, and thank you so much for that wonderful, it's really a pleasure just working with you, chatting with you, kikiing, just really getting to really know you in a different light now, because we've known each other since the Sandbox. I was going over the first show that I did with you last year on this date, and how I have grown as a co-host. It helps me to be better, to help your brand, but also I just really love and adore you, and just so proud of you for saying yes. I mean, during this pandemic, all of us, we've kind of gone a different way, but there were people surrounding you that said, you know what, Chat Daddy, you need to continue this. And I'm so glad that you did. And I'm so glad that you asked me. And I'm so glad I said yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you the funniest thing ever, because something like this takes dedication and commitment. And for somebody just out of the blue to agree, and then every time you said, hey, listen, I'm available, I can, whatever. And it really does speak volume of you, and just, I value your time and the person that you are and the many things you have your hands in. And I'm just really, honored that you have stayed around, and we have been able to develop an audience and make people laugh and cry and share personal stories. And I think that's what has made this show a success. I was out earlier today at a wonderful event, and this is an event that I attend each and every year. I was at the Hospitality and Tourism Summit, Chicago, 2021, and Chicago is officially back open, you all, as of Friday. But today I got a chance to meet with all of these people that run things, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And it was just like today, me explaining what the Real Chat Daddy Show was about, how it's been developed. And tell you a funny story, Kay Renee. Somebody said, "So Bonnie Deshawn was you." So Bonnie and I will talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Oh my God, are you serious?
They thought Bonnie Deshawn was you. Because they said, "Oh, Chat Daddy, these are people we've interviewed now. These are people that have been on the show, so I won't give it away." But they were like, "Oh," so I had to, explain to people the pivot, what happened, because so many of those people remembered me from other brands.
Right.
And so, it was a great day today. But no, thank you for helping me to continue my brands moving forward. And this will always be a classic and iconic moment in show, because we did it during the pandemic. Yes. But we also have other things to add to this portfolio.
Yes, we do. Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're glad you guys are here with us tonight. Big round of applause for Kay Renee. 1 year of sitting in the co-host chair and just we've been doing this doggone thing, and I'm really
Yes, you
happy
have.
about it. So yes, thank you so much. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Today is National Best Friends Day. For those of you
Yes.
all that do not know that, but it is. I do have a lot of people that I consider to be besties. This is one of them, others, but I do have one particular bestie, and I think everybody know who that is. I ain't gonna put her on blast, but we've been friends for over 30 something years. Through
Wow.
thick, thin, you name it, we have been besties. Right. Fall out, come back, besties. And it ain't gonna
That
never change.
You
And
know,
so
there's a saying that my late great aunt had always said: if you have one good friend in this life, you are truly, truly blessed. And I, like you, I have women around me, but there are just a few besties that
right.
I have, and I'm going to give homage to them tonight. To
Yes.
my bestie Melissa Young, I love her to life. My
Yeah.
bestie attorney Kira Payne, love you, sister. My other bestie, Miss Denise Weaver, go ahead. And then there are two more, Rochelle Richardson and Carmelita Clinton. I love you guys to life. Thank you so much
See,
for being part of my life.
I love you, K Renee. See, you are able to name yours.
Oh heck yeah.
If I started naming people and miss somebody, girl, I
Yeah.
have too many struggles. So I had to keep everybody bestie level. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
Everybody know the
But
queen bestie. Right.
but nevertheless, though, throughout my life, I'm just really blessed, Art, that there have been women. I've gone through a marriage. I've
Yeah.
gone through. I'm a happily divorcee. I've
Right.
gone through the fact I lost my child. I've
Yeah.
gone through my parents. With the accident that happened, it'll be 17 years ago in September. I've gone through. I've gone through so much, and
Wow.
those women I mentioned, they
Yes.
have been, I had knee surgery 3 years ago on the
Right.
15th.
Right.
They've been with me. They have never left my side.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I tell people, you better give folks their roses while they're here, because
Right.
when they leave here, yeah, they
Mhm.
can't smell them. So I know there are other people who, I put in certain categories, but those women,
I
that's
love it.
all I can
I
say.
love it. I do. I do. Well, for those of you all that have besties on whichever level, whether it's my bestie level or her bestie level, and then y'all know I do have subcommittees of besties that have chairmans over the bestie organization. But
Right.
but I do find time to have all them besties over to eat at one particular time. And then you got to keep in mind I have male besties too.
That's right.
Right. I
I,
do have male besties. So I just Lord, but everybody know who that number one bestie is. She got red hair. That's all y'all need to know. You
I
you
already
can do
know.
that video.
Mwah. I
You
already
see
know who
her,
she is.
you
Mwah,
see
mwah.
me. Right. You see me, you
You
see
see
her.
her.
Right.
That's
And we're
right.
we gonna do one of them videos for social media real soon. All right,
Cool.
so let's continue on. Today is also National Name Your Poison Day. So now, do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Well, I could take that two ways, Art. I could take it the literal way, right?
Okay.
Or I could say my favorite cocktail. So
Okay.
either
Oh.
or, you know.
Oh.
So
Oh. Yes. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
leave it. I'm gonna leave it at
No,
that.
actually, I'm loving your answer. Your answer was amazing, and I'm gonna tell you why. It
Okay.
is both situations. If
Okay.
you had to judge the day and age we living in, I get you.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. But
Okay.
back in the olden day, you're absolutely right. It's about liquor. Today is the day of pick your poison, or that's what the bartenders used to say back in 1864. And the
Mm.
Daily National Republican, which was the newspaper in Washington, D.C. at the time,
Mm-hmm.
they coined that fashion when they went for people that went out to parties and went places. They would ask the barkeep would say to them, pick your poison.
Mm-hmm.
So now in this day and age, saying pick your poison could be alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, nicotine, food. It could be, it could be any combination of things. So yes, but you're right. That's what it meant. Absolutely. Okay. Very
Yes.
good. Yes.
Thank you.
Very good.
We're smarter than the average bear. Come on now.
Yes, absolutely. We're smarter than a fifth grader on this show. Thank
That's
you. We want to
right.
let y'all know we're smarter than a fifth grader. All
That's
right.
right.
So our next day is one that you and I were kind of talking about backstage.
Ooh, goodness.
Today is National Oopsie Daisy Day. Oopsie Daisy Day. And you know, when a little baby falls, we always say Oopsie
Oopsie
Daisy,
daisy.
or you make a little tumble and you be like Oopsie Daisy. But I always just thought that was something old people said. I didn't know Oopsie Daisy really meant something. Oopsie
Mm.
Daisy today or this day commemorates you just kind of doing something you may have never done before, kind of, oh, it just happened kind of day, that type of thing. So Renee,
Now,
you you have a story that I think, you know what I'm saying, not many chicks can tell the story that you getting ready to
ooh.
tell us.
Well, this is a big This is a big oopsie daisy
Okay.
because, oh my God, when I saw this story, I wouldn't have believed it, Art, until I saw the photo. And I wish we could show the photo. But this South African woman, Miss Gosame Thama Sitole,
Mm.
37,
Mm-hmm.
she gave birth yesterday to decuplets. Now, ladies and gents, you wondering, what the hell is a decuplet?
Yes, please. Please.
The decuplets are 10 children. 10. Seis. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Diez in Spanish.
Wait, baby. Wait.
Diez.
Let me. I need a manicure, y'all. But wait.
Okay.
Okay. So this many, huh?
10 children. And I showed Art the photo of the young lady. He was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
was even in shock. Now, mind you, she had these babies, seven boys and 3 girls. Had them at a Pretoria, South African hospital yesterday. She already has 6-year-old twins. Okay? And she breaks now the Guinness World Record of having babies in all one setting. And check this out, Art. It was all natural, no fertility treatments. Now, how about that?
Oh, really? Well, okay.
Yes.
So when I saw the photo of her, and if you guys get a chance, please Google. I don't
Yes.
even understand how that woman stood up.
I
'Cause
don't either.
right, and I'm wondering, like, the elasticity in her stomach. Was she really? She would have to probably have some kind of surgery because it really looked as if she had a pouch hanging off of her.
And that's why I felt for her, because I did
Right.
see the canes, because
Okay.
she's to stand up.
Right.
I did look at other articles
Okay.
on
Right.
her, and she has canes, so which she has to stand up. But she was very happy, and the hubby, he just like, oh, I'm just so happy. Now, unfortunately, now for those who want to donate, y'all need to donate to this family, because unfortunately he's unemployed. That's the
No, I
sad
know.
part.
No, I
You have
know.
10
Yeah.
kids and no job, no income.
Oh,
What's up with that?
oh no, that won't be the first time we've heard that story, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah.
that's a big oopsie. That's a big
Yeah.
oopsie daisy. I'm happy for her and the family, but I'm gonna tell you, I lost a child, but to be, as a woman, to have that load, once she gave birth, I just hope that she will be okay, because that's a moment.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
moment.
No, I agree. I would imagine the government would probably step in and have to help them.
I
She
hope
is
so.
history. She is history making.
Hmm.
Now that she's made the news, I'm sure somebody will. I'm glad we're getting the story out there, but I'm sure some diaper company, somebody will probably help with the expense of
Yes.
this, because that is, and God bless. But 10 babies at one time. Can you imagine having to take care of 10 babies at one time?
And it's called decuplets, ladies and gents. So if you want to, what's that called? Decuplets.
Okay.
Decuplets.
All right. Well, y'all, as we said last night, Auntie Gina was here, and remember, she's an HIV and AIDS expert,
Hmm.
health expert, to talk to us about our situation. Y'all gonna get COVID shots and then get some, how many tuplets?
Decuplets.
Yeah.
Decuplets.
So be careful. Be careful.
That's
all we say.
right.
All right. With that being said, we want to give you the daily health update. We are a health and wellness show. The coronavirus metrics continues to improve in the state of Illinois, and so the state is moving in the right direction for full reopen this coming Friday. So that means there'll be no limit restrictions. There will not have to be any social distancing. You can do whatever you need to do, get down, get funky, get loose. But we're going to tell y'all about being careful now. You know, that's what we do on the show. Okay.
That's right.
Illinois public health officials today reported 365 new or probable cases of COVID-19, and we only had 11 additional fatalities. Nice, very nice. That's good to hear. Kay Renee, I was listening to the news earlier today where they said some states are going to stop reporting this information. Like we're a health and wellness show. Every night we give the numbers and do health things to tell people to do the right thing. But a lot of states, Alabama, and if I'm not mistaken, either Florida or Texas, Florida and Alabama, I think it is, will not be reporting the numbers daily anymore. I'm sure you'll be able to find it because it's public record, but not like we sit here and say 20 people died, 5 people sick. That type, right.
Right. But you know what's interesting? You mentioned about Alabama. Alabama as well as Mississippi, they have the least amount of African Americans who've gotten vaccinated. So I think it's even more important to report that, to stress the importance of getting vaccinated, because we, even though they have not reported the fatalities or total amount, but we're still approaching close to 600,000 people.
I get it, because I actually do have some comparisons that I actually want to talk about. So let's talk about the vaccine so far. Mm-hmm. It has been reported in the state of Illinois that 44,174 dosages of the vaccine was administered on Monday, and the 7-day rolling average of daily dosages, try saying that 2 times over, is 42,852. And so officials said 68% of Illinois adults have received at least one of the vaccine dose, and 51% of adults are fully vaccinated. Now, let me give you some mixed up numbers here. Mm-hmm. About 16 million, that's with an M, million unvaccinated adults are currently in limbo in the United States right now. And within the next 4 weeks, to meet the president's goals, 16 million people would have to at least have the first shot in their arm. And that, because his goal was for us to have 2 million?
Yeah, 70%. That was his percentage that he was,
right.
That was the goal he was striving for, was 70% right.
Yes.
of the American public to be vaccinated at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think he's going to reach that goal? I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't. Because, see, first of all, there is so much going on with this COVID and how things were handled and how things are done. People, I don't know. I've never, for us to have gone through all the suffering, job loss, economic just downturn, which you and I'll talk about that, the price of things, all of that. I don't know. It's weird. I see another outbreak. I see another something coming around the turn, because all of this is just going right back to normal, like nothing ever happened. And really, it was a traumatic year for a lot of people. Some people good, other people very traumatic.
And you bring on a good point, Art, because if we don't learn what has happened, what's transpired in 2020, we are destined to repeat it. I sent you an article earlier today about what happened with the Spanish flu. There was an
right.
article talking about the depression, or the recession of 1929.
Right.
Their economists they're doing some trending and say, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, we're leading in that direction. Right. So I just, even though Chicago, the state of Illinois, is opening up in less than 72 hours, I'm going to still, because I would think they now haven't mentioned that if you go on public transportation, you still got to wear a mask, right?
Yes.
So,
while I was out today, people still had masks on. I had mine off. I'm fully vaccinated, but I would put it back on. the type of event I was at today, it's a lot of tasting, sipping, picture taking, things like that. Again, fully vaccinated, but it was not a lot of people. Great social distancing. Navy Pier is an amazing place off that ballroom to have something, because they actually, have like those verandas where people can. So, it was great, but I don't know. I'm still concerned. So here's the deal. Let's go globally with this. Hong Kong is dangling all type of incentives in front of their people. Everything from a free apartment to paid leave from work to a private party on a commercial jet. Hong Kong is so hungry to get back to business and to get their economy that's been very sluggish because of COVID-19. They're doing this to try to entice people to get the vaccine, because people in Hong Kong are not getting the vaccine the way you thought they would there either.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Wow. I would
Yeah.
expect a lot of the Asian countries that would be the first to say, you know what, we need to be vaccinated, because they were wearing masks before COVID-19 came about. So
Right.
that really surprises me.
Well, here's the deal. Because the air pollution is so bad in a lot of the Asian countries, where we're very strict on mufflers and emissions and things like that, that has always been a standard practice to wear a face covering. Even in the Middle East, they do the same way, the women and the men even. But I don't know. It's amazing to me how a vaccine was created so quickly for COVID, but not a vaccine for HIV and AIDS have been created as of yet that we know. People are still battling cancer, spending large amounts of money on treatment, all of that. It's something about this whole COVID pandemic is just crazy to me. And now the incentives that are being offered. And let me even tell you about another place. The state of Washington Liquor and Cannabis Board announced Monday that they're going to be offering free marijuana joints as an incentive for people to get vaccinated for COVID-19. Y'all heard me. They're going to be offering you a reefer for y'all don't know, right? A reefer, a joint, a spliff, whatever it is, they're going to be offering you that to get the shot. What do you think?
Well, cannabis has been around before we came in this world. So there's some benefits to cannabis. So I would, for all those Washingtonians,
Right.
go on, get your vaccine, god dog it.
Right. But I just, but Lord have mercy. Now you're offering to people weed.
There's some,
Look, next thing
there's
you know,
some
these strip
benefits to that.
clubs. Yeah, but I'm worried these strip clubs gonna be next. Come on, get you a lap dance and get a shot. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
I mean,
goodness.
I
I don't know
don't
if they'll go to that extreme, but that's an interesting creative idea,
know.
and
Right?
my feelings on cannabis now.
Yes.
Because I've done some research, and cannabis has been around before we came in this world. So, and there's a reason for the plant. That's all I will say.
Okay, so we need to table that and have a conversation one evening on this show. Because let me tell you guys, as Kay Renee said, since the sandbox, and Kay Renee would have been considered one of my more prudish friends years ago. She
Yes.
hip, cool, all of that, but prudish. So
Hmm.
for her to now be sitting here speaking about cannabis in the way she is, we've got to unravel that story, you all. That's a backstory. So we'll have to have a cannabis conversation on the show one night. We'll have to.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, this Madam Prude over here. I just like, huh? Okay.
But I'm not that prude to
No,
have a book
no.
called DDW. Now come
Well,
on.
we know. But remember, I know how all that happened. But it's a lot of people like you that were not folks that spoke of marijuana, all that. And now you all are like, hey, and I'm like, wow. So okay, that's a whole other story. Let's continue on. All right, Kay Renee, what else do you have in the news tonight?
Well, we have also regarding, let me look here. Chris Harrison. We
Yes,
all remember him, right? Of The
yes,
Bachelor. Well,
yes.
guess what, ladies and gents? He ain't coming back.
Mm-mm.
ABC Entertainment asked him, they confirmed that he is stepping aside after being the host of The Bachelor for 20 I didn't know he was bachelor. I didn't know he was host that long. But
Yeah.
20 seasons. And everyone knows why he's not coming back, right? I mean, for those, if you've been sitting on a rock, you
Yeah.
know, he made some controversial remarks to the first female bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, about a former bachelor contestant in the last cycle of the first black bachelor, Mr. James. He was choosing, her name was Rachel Kirkconnell, and she was photographed in an antebellum plantation theme fraternity formal, which caused a lot of controversy. And unfortunately, Chris Harrison defended her when he had a conversation with Rachel Lindsay. And I saw the interview and I said, really? You gonna go that route? So it caused a lot of hoopla. He decided to step back and he acknowledged that he made a mistake. And so here we are. He's not coming back to The Bachelor, even though it's been, I think it was premiered last night.
Okay.
But he won't be the host.
All right. So now you all know K. Renee pours one half of the cup of the tea. Well, I'm getting ready to pour the other half of the cup of the tea. And this getting ready to be hot. So here's the deal. He's walking away with an 8-figure severance.
Oh, okay.
8-figure severance.
Not 7.
8-figure. 8.
He'll be all right.
Honey. And he's to never talk about what happened with that situation. So he's a man after my own heart. He really is. I get it. Bro, you held it down for that many years, but I also found out today that it is an 8-figure settlement, and he's to never talk about that topic ever again. That situation.
Well, he has a long life to live, so let's hope he can keep that. I'm sure he will, because otherwise they'll say, excuse me.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You talked about it. We want all that 8-figure salary back.
Look, I'm sure he understands. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure he understands.
I'm gonna pose a question to you and our audience.
Right. And it might be what Candace is saying.
Well, will they shut it down? No. It's ran its course. We'll see about that. But if you were in a situation where you did something you had no business doing, or if the company did something and they will not accept any wrongdoing, but they're willing to give you a hefty severance package, would you take it? And could you not say anything? Now that's a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I
want you to take care of me enough that I would disappear. Not dead, disappear. And okay. I easily could do. Yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, for me, it has to be 9 figures. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Not 8.
All right.
It'll be 9 figures for me to be quiet.
All right.
Because one thing about you and I, Art, that we're so similar. We got receipts. So,
absolutely.
For me to be quiet and not say a word, you better give me 9 figures.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I do. But I just want to live peaceful. I want to live in harmony. I want to do what I want to do. And give me enough that I can sit and do what I want to do and build from that. So I would have 9 figures shit. Y'all, look, it'd be like this.
Come back, Chat Daddy.
I cut the show off. It'd be like that. Right. Last time we saw him was on June 8th. Right. It would be right. It was last time we saw him. It was June 8th. Right. And again, not dead, but gone.
Disappeared. No, I'm with you on that. As I said, they would have. It would have to be enough money for me to say okay. And I would not do any social media. None of that. I was like, all right, I need to buy somewhere where it would just be me, my place. Maybe have if I had someone, to rub my back.
Yep.
He had to sign an
Yep.
NDA. None of
Yep.
that, not
All of
compete.
that. All of that.
Shit.
All of that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's a conversation one evening as well too, because
Yes.
I easily can forget a lot of different things if I have the right mechanisms, the right tools to just say, you know what, we gonna forget about that. But thank you, Jesus, that you took care of your wrong and allowing me to move on. And so
Exactly.
yes, absolutely. So I agree with you on that. But yeah, I want somebody to rub my back. I might want
Okay.
several. Look, I might want several somebodies. That's how weird I want to be. That's right. I'm gonna want several.
I will
So,
achieve some of the stories from my first book. Yeah, I can do that too. So I'm not
right.
worried about that. But they would have to sign some NDAs. How about
Yeah,
that?
oh, absolutely. And look, I be my cell phone, the number everybody done had, all that. Oh no, honey, it was
None of
y'all
that.
didn't. Yep, yep.
Y'all wouldn't know. Y'all would see me every once a year, probably on my birthday. Like, hey, how you doing? Keep
Right.
it moving.
Yes, I agree. We on the same page. Okay, Lord, bless us. Bless us on this show, Lord.
That's
That's
right.
what we say. Right, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about tonight? Oh boy.
Well, you want to wait. You know what happened this morning? For those this morning who are on the East Coast,
Yes.
something might have happened if you tried to order something through Amazon
Yeah.
or CNN. There was a little glitch, not a little glitch,
Yeah.
a big glitch that happened. Fastly, which is a cloud service company, they had an outage, a massive outage, a worldwide outage that affected high performing websites like Amazon, Hulu, CNN. And it happened around 6 o'clock Eastern, so that's 5 o'clock our time in the morning.
Right.
But they were temporarily shut down. Now, of course, now they're back online. But this raises an interesting question. My background is audit and compliance with cybersecurity at its height now.
Right.
You gotta. The question I have is, if for any reason this internet shuts down, can we survive? I already know the answer to that, and it's yes.
Oof.
It'll be tough, but we can survive it because we had. Look what happened before the internet came.
I'm even trying to remember. Okay, so we will have to talk about that too, because I remember my days of having a pager.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days of having a brick phone.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days that my dad had a telephone in the armrest of one of his cars, and that phone was never turned on the whole time he had that damn car. That we never used that phone in that car. I'm so addicted to the internet and modern society now that
I am too.
I don't know now.
And think about this, Art. Because of the pandemic, everyone had to stay home. You had to rely upon the internet to place orders for groceries, whatever that you needed. So I get it. But here's the thing, and I'm putting my auditor hat on now. There has to be better controls over the traffic of these major sites, because a lot of Amazon, Microsoft, they have, it's a lot of traffic. And if you don't have proper internal controls, that stuff will happen.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. All right. So we have a list of things that we need to talk about on the show. We plethora of things. Just, how much money would it take for you to disappear? That's the conversation that I think I can get a series of people, and we might even have a financial expert join us on that, because you saying 9-figure. What is 9 figures, okay, Renee?
I think that's $1 trillion, but I mean that to say, because depending upon what you've gone through professionally and how it may have harmed you, because that would tell the company, listen, don't you ever try to F me again, okay? This is my way of telling you, don't do it again to nobody else.
Then in that case, I'm owed several checks, and we just gonna leave that where that's at. I'm owed several checks, so it might be 9 figures. It might be 9 figures,
but you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because there are companies that have, you've done the right thing. You worked your butt off. You want to be the best employee that you can be, and when they screw you over and you think it's okay, oh no, it's not okay. So that's why I said nine figures because all of us, especially the two of us right here on this show, we
Right.
keep receipts. Don't ever get that twisted.
Well, with that being said, for those of you all, oh, are we snapping? Well, well. With that being said, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Sitting over there is the woman that just preached the sermon. She just laid it all out. The Reverend K. Renee, a parent's mother from Knowledge. She will be having summer Bible study camp coming up very soon after that sermon she just delivered on how much money she and I both are owed. And I'm sure a lot of people who just heard that sermon probably amen as well too. Well, as you guys all know, June is Men's Health Awareness Month, and in 2 weeks we'll be celebrating Father's Day 2021. For
Yes.
most of us, we'll be out of this COVID pandemic. The restrictions have been the guards have been let down, and we'll probably all be getting together on Father's Day. Well, to talk to us about the importance of Black men and men in general and their overall health is our good friend, Dr. Janet Seabrook. We appreciate her so much whenever she stops by to see us. Good evening, Doctor. How are you?
Hey, Chat Daddy, can you hear me?
We can. How are you
All
tonight?
right, all
Hi,
right. I
hi,
am
Dr.
doing
Janet.
well. Hey, Kay Renee, good to see you.
It's good to see you. I love your articles. Anything that you post, I'm just like I sop it up like a biscuit. It's like, oh wow, this is some not talk about my nuggets. Y'all need to talk to see and look at Dr. Janet. She got some major nuggets to
Yes, and
share.
let me give y'all her proper credits and title. Not only is she a noted family practitioner, but she's also the president of Community HealthNet Health Centers of Northwest Indiana. She's a columnist for the Crusader. And here's the deal, Dr. Janet Seabrook, we want to honor you tonight. You have stuck with us through 1 year of this show. You every month you've been very faithful and have come by and graced us with your presence, and we truly are appreciative of you spending time with us on this show. And we just want to say we love you.
Mwah.
Well, thank you so much, and my love to you both. It is an honor and a pleasure to be able to spend this time, however brief that it may
Right?
be, with you
Yes.
on this show. I love it. When I get the invitation, I'm so excited, and I'm like, "What does Chat want to talk about tonight?" And so,
Yes.
whatever it is, I try to get my little notes and prepare myself so I can spread whatever nuggets that I have to people who are listening and viewing.
Very good. We appreciate you so much. So June is Men's Health Awareness Month. Father's Day is in 2 weeks. We've all put on this weight. I've been noticing people in their little summer outfits, Doc. They look a little snug and tight. I ain't gonna lie. I had to throw a lot of my stuff away, and so it's time for us to get back in our doctors' faces. You talked to us about that the last time, but getting our brothers, my brothers, any other man to go see a doctor is a battle. Why is that?
So it really all stems from this stigma that we've had about healthcare in the first place. And we look at if you need to go and see someone, particularly as a male, African American male, we look at that as a sign of weakness. So women have
Mhm.
always went to the doctor, have a baby, you get pregnant, you need to go see the doctor, follow that pregnancy through, and then you have the child. Then, of course, you're going back for your checkup, your postpartum checkup, and you're taking the baby for their shots and everything to keep them healthy. Then they go to school, and it's time to get the vaccines to go back to school, get the sports physical. So you have this regimen, and men sort of fall off the course or fall off the track when it comes to keeping up with their health because I'm the breadwinner, I'm going to work every day, I don't have time for that. I get up and I look in the mirror every morning as I'm brushing my teeth, and I look fine, so I must be okay. And in the back of their mind, they know when things are starting to go wrong, but they really, it's just not in our DNA to really sit down and have that one-on-one conversation about the things that are bothering us or our family's medical history. You know, if you're a male, is there a history of prostate cancer in your
Right.
family, colon
Right.
cancer, stomach
Right.
cancer, thyroid cancer, throat cancer, if family members smoked or you smoked or drank a lot of alcohol? And we just don't have those conversations. So it's almost kind of, we've fallen into this, let's not talk about it. As long as I don't talk about it, then everything's okay. And then also men have this tendency to say every time you go to the doctor, they find something wrong. And it's because you don't go on a regular basis. So your chances
Mm-hmm.
of having something are
Mm-hmm.
increased because you don't go enough to really find things out early. So in my article that was in the Crusader, I talked about early detection being one of the ways that you can best take care of yourself. When you detect things very early, your likelihood of being able to survive those events is increased. So an example is prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is a very slow growing cancer. So if it's found early and taken care of, your chances of survival are increased. You have a 90% 5 year survival rate when your cancer is caught early, when it's the size of a grain of sand versus when it's grown to the size of a walnut and started to spread to your bones and other areas in your system. So I wrote that article to encourage men to go to the doctor to get back in the swing of things because the pandemic has done it to all of us. We were shut down, we were locked down, we were staying in the house, we weren't going to the doctor, we were doing telehealth visits, but of course you can't do those physical examinations through telehealth.
Right.
So you have to go somewhere where someone can physically lay their hands on you and do those examinations that need to be done. So now is the time. Let's take this opportunity to get back in there, get into the doctor's office, get those exams done, get our prostate cancer screenings, get our colonoscopies done, and, find out, is your cholesterol high? If you are
Mm-hmm.
diabetic, have you been controlling your blood sugar? Because there's been a lot of opening of refrigerator doors for the
Oof.
last, 16
Oof.
months. People have just been pulling that refrigerator door. No, not 16 months, 18 months.
18 months, yes.
Right, right, right. And see, my problem is I don't do the refrigerator doors no more. I do the restaurant doors. So I just,
DoorDash.
I know I just,
Somebody
DoorDash
do
and
it.
Lord,
Grubhub.
right. No,
Grubhub and DoorDash.
and see, right. And see, I like going to the restaurant. Kay Renee is the delivery person. And Doc, I know you and your healthy. I mean, I have been trying to do better, eating a lot of salads when I go out to meet people now. Try not to do dessert. I got to work on the alcohol thing, but I try to do drinks that are less calories than, normal drinks. But, this pandemic has put us all just at a whole different level. But, I guess checking our health is important. Well, we know it is.
Yes, it is. And I don't want to be the police in regards to the fun police and having snacks and enjoying friends and going out. It's just the choices that we make. And just
Right,
like some of the things that you mentioned, okay, so I do want to have a drink. So can I find an alcoholic drink that has, less calories? Can I find a non-alcoholic beverage that will give me the same taste that I'm looking for,
right,
with lower calories? Can I have a salad, but then maybe I could put a protein on top of it that I enjoy? And
right,
maybe I will splurge if I'm someone who likes a steak or a pork chop every now and then. Maybe I'll have it once a month, but I'm not going to have a steak every Friday night or every Saturday night, with a huge side of mashed potatoes. So I think it's making those smart decisions. And if I do decide to have this steak, can I skip the mashed potatoes and
right,
maybe put more string beans and have a larger salad? So maybe I won't eat as much of the steak. Or
right,
how about a steak salad? So I'll have a larger portion of salad and then maybe my steak will be in strips sliced across there. So I mean, just ways to kind of, you know, give yourself that same taste, that same feeling, that same sensation, but in moderate proportions.
Yes, yes, very good. All right, so in your article, what I love more than anything, you started off with early detection. I'm hearing a lot about prostate cancer. You talked about colon cancer. Well, yeah, colon cancer, prostate cancer. Another thing, last night we had an expert on who spoke about cancer and oral sex, and people have been up in my inbox like, can we ask Dr. Seabrook, and can we, what is there something with that?
Yeah, so you may have heard about the vaccine called HPV. So
Yes.
the HPV vaccine, when it first came out a number of years ago, we really targeted teenage girls because we were looking at the rates of cervical cancer in teenage girls. And if they get that vaccine before age 26, you're really reducing the rate of them getting cervical cancer in the later years, which is very
Mm.
difficult to treat. So putting that saving or protection, that layer of protection around teenagers, then we discovered, okay, boys are just as susceptible to having HPV and being the carrier, and then giving that virus to the females who would then get cervical cancer. So when you're thinking about this, you're thinking about the lower half of the body, but guess what? That human papilloma virus can also cause oral cancers, and it's caused when people have oral sex. And if someone has the human papilloma virus on their penis or their vagina, it is highly likely that they can transmit that during oral sex to someone. And then you could potentially, particularly if you're someone who smokes or drinks a lot of alcohol, then you're increasing your risk of oral cancer. So you need to be very careful. There are things that you can do to protect yourself if you're going to have oral sex. And you have to think about it just like you would if you're going to have vaginal or anal sex. You need to protect yourself. So there are some instruments that you can use. The same, you can use condoms, the dams. You can use a mouth dam for females that you would still have that same sensation, but then you would be protecting yourself. So these are some of the things. So the same virus that causes cervical cancer and penile cancers can also, the human papilloma virus, for which there is a vaccine for, can also cause oral cancers in males and females.
Okay, because that has ever since she said that last night, and thank you, Doc. Because we were talking about that earlier. Like we really do need to have a doctor to clear that up. And matter of fact, one of our faithful viewers, she even put a comment up here saying, "I think we should talk about what happened last night." You know, and so thank you so much for answering that. I just, K Renee, I'm sure you kind of feel like me. Why wasn't this around when we were younger?
I
The
think the HPV was around. I mean, I know because whenever I go to my OB-GYN, it was not mentioned until later in life. And I'm so glad, Dr. Janet, you kind of clarified that if I wanted to take the vaccine, I guess I can now, because when it was offered, I exceeded the age limit. But it's good to know, because when I go back to my doctor, because I haven't been, I'm one of those guilty ones that have not been to the doctor. That's when I'll be definitely asking for that vaccine. I think it
So,
was I'm
no, I
sorry.
just wanted to be clear that after age 26, that the vaccine is not given to anyone after age
Oh, it's not.
26, male or
Okay.
female. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
honey,
Mhm.
Okay.
So
that boat
I
wasn't
want to make
fair.
sure that everybody understands that, and that's why there was this push to really get college age, your 18-year-olds that are getting ready to leave the house, go off to college, make sure that they were getting protected. Because when this vaccine first came back out a number of years ago, people were like, "Oh, this is going to make them be promiscuous." And look, this if there was a vaccine tomorrow that said, if I give you this vaccine, you will never get breast cancer, people would be lined up around the block
Yes,
to
they
They
get
would.
that
would.
vaccine.
Yes, they would.
This
Yes,
is
they
a
would.
vaccine that reduces the chance of your daughter getting cervical cancer or your son getting penile
Mhm.
cancer or someone who has anal receptive sex getting anal cancer or someone who extensively just does uh, oral sex from getting cancer of the throat. Would you stand in line to get it if you had that chance to be
Absolutely.
reduced? And so that's what we're
Absolutely.
talking about. So we need to protect our children 26 and under with this
Okay.
vaccine.
All right. So at that Father's Day gathering, you guys make sure you are talking about this with your family, anybody 26 and under, because that's what my question was yesterday when she was telling us this. Like, wait a
Right.
minute. First of all, we had never heard of that when we were, when I was
Absolutely
younger.
not.
And then I'm
Right.
like, damn, how come we didn't have that opportunity to get that? Because, not that I'm saying, that I'm fast or anything, but, people like me. So, I mean, and it's human nature. So,
Right.
okay. Thank you, doctor. We
Oh, you're
appreciate
very
that.
welcome. It's just that the talking about sex has always been taboo, not just in the general community, but particularly in the African American community. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
our rates of STDs are so high and HIV and other cancers or other sexually transmitted diseases and cancers because we don't talk about it. We get
Right.
embarrassed. And, I as we started this conversation, I quickly in my brain said be very careful of the terminology that you use. You want to use proper terminology, but then I also want people to understand what I am saying because
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
that is a
Mm-hmm.
part of your body, so you need to
Mm-hmm.
know what could potentially happen to your body if you don't
Mm-hmm.
take care of it.
That's why
So
you
I
both.
that's why I want to ask a question, Dr. Janet. For those women like myself who were in that age group that didn't know about HPV, so what happens? You've passed the 26 years. I mean, the chance can happen where you can get HPV.
So here is where it is very important, and you bring up a very good question. This is where it's very important to not skip your annual exams to be checked for cervical cancer. If you still have a cervix, if you've not had a total hysterectomy, then you still need to go in and have 3 clear pap smears, and then your doctor can go to every third year to have those pap smears. But you need to every 3 years get a pap smear, but they start after your doctor has cleared you and made sure that you've had 3 clean ones, and then after that you can go to every 3 years for your pap smear if you don't have any abnormal cells on your cervix. Then you're
Okay.
all good.
Now
But
you've
if you're
cleared that
someone
up.
who has had abnormal cells on your cervix when they do the pap smear, then sometimes we'll have you come in a little bit more frequently. Sometimes there are procedures that we will do. We can freeze the cells and then remove them, biopsy them, or we can
Mm-hmm.
burn them off, leak procedure, look at them and make sure they're not cancerous. And then we can go again back to the every 3 years.
Okay.
So it's just very important that people understand that yes, I'm past 26, but there is a treatment. Again, we're talking about early detection
Right.
of cervical cancer. And so you're going in for your annual exams and then you're following the doctor's instructions.
Yay, very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you
Very
for
good.
clearing
All
that
right,
up.
we appreciate you. We know we almost about time out of time. We were talking about men's health, but now we're talking about overall sexual health. Last night we had an incredible conversation with Gina Lamar, Auntie Gina, about HIV
Mm-hmm.
and AIDS. But Dr. Seabrook has just really knocked it out the ballpark for us tonight and has
Yes.
given us the answers that many of you guys have been texting me, questioning me about. And this wasn't even what we had booked Dr. Seabrook about. But see, she a dope queen. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
she is.
She laid it out. Well, it's like church tonight. Hey, man, we're going to put the collection plate up tonight before this show.
Okay.
But doctor, great job. We did have one gentleman asked on my other Facebook page, what about mental health in men? This pandemic, now more than ever, you're starting to see a lot of things in people. Before you run, can we address the mental health aspect in our men and our families?
Sure. And Thank you so much for asking that, because I think we focus a lot on, or have focused a lot on women, because they've been at home, they've been taking care of the kids, and they've been running around doing a lot of things that need to be done to keep the home going, and we've kind of lost focus on men being in that same predicament and having to make sure that the bills are being paid, that they're there for their family, and so those same things that women have been going through, men have been going through them as well. So we talk about a lot about self-care, go get your nails done, go get, your toes done, your pedicure. But men, you can do the same thing. If getting your hair cut makes you feel good, going and getting a nice manicure, getting your toes soaked too. If it's just hanging out with your boys and having a good time, maybe it's just sitting somewhere in a quiet room by yourself and not hearing all the excess noise of things that are going on. And there is nothing wrong with finding somebody, and now there's no excuse, to talk to. You can
Mm-hmm.
look up therapy services online and be in the privacy of your own home, your car, your
Yes.
office, wherever you are,
Mm-hmm.
and talk
Mm-hmm.
to a professional mental health therapist about those things that are concerning you. And we really need to break the stigma down. So I think that one of the things that will help us do that is by having these services that are available through telehealth. So you don't have to, if you don't want to, physically go in to an office that may have a sign over the door that says mental health services, and it's like, okay, I'm not going in there. So I think that this is one of the benefits, if you can say there were benefits that came out of the pandemic, was being able to bring these telehealth services more to the forefront. They've always been there, but now we need them even more. So I would say to men, practice the same self care. If you need to talk to somebody, find somebody that you can talk to. If you have a brother in the community, a mentor, a pastor, someone that you look up to. But if all of those things fail, there's always telehealth services, behavioral health, confidential, private, where you can talk through those things and then, you know, figure out your way through, because we all have needed something during this time, during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah, amen, amen. I've learned a lot during this pandemic. My heart is it looks at things so differently since this pandemic. K Renee, I'm sure you can chime in with the same sentiment.
Oh, absolutely, Dr. Janet. I'm just really thankful for you, for the knowledge that you bring, because one thing you had spoken about where men are the stigma of prostate cancer. Unfortunately, one of my paternal uncles missed that sign, and now he's no longer with us because he had prostate cancer. He had stage 4. And my dad, my late father, we're celebrating Father's Day. My father was the type of man, he when he needed to go to the doctor, he went to the doctor. Every chance he got, and he tried to relay that knowledge to his brother. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because when he discovered he had prostate cancer, it was too late. Because he was like some men feeling macho, like I don't need to go. So when it happened, then um, he felt scared. He felt ashamed. And I can't. I'm so glad you stressed that now is the time to really, if you truly love yourself, go to the doctor, find out what's going on, so you can have the best quality of life possible. Because you only come around here one time.
That's
So
it. We
thank you
get
for
what we
that.
get one time around the sun. That's
That's
it.
That's
it.
right.
One time around
Yeah.
the sun. And men need to know that going to the doctor or needing to find a healthcare provider is not a sign of
No, it's
weakness. To
not.
me, it's actually a sign of strength.
Yes, it
That's
is.
it. And I
Uh-huh.
want to be here for the future, for my children and my grandchildren, and for my wife or significant other.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because I've known quite a few situations recently of men in their late 40s, early to mid 50s that are just dying. And that's unheard of, heart attacks and strokes and things like that. And so I'm very concerned about my brothers, black and brown, just taking care of themselves better. In closing, doctor, what would you like to say?
That if you would like to find me on social media, you can look for me, drjanetseabrook.com. You can also go to my social media page. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, the whole nine, Google, the whole 9 yards.
She
Um,
everywhere, y'all. She
She
fabulous. She the
everywhere.
bomb.
That's right.
She the
She
bomb.
is.
She the bomb diggity.com. Look, our good friend. What did she say? Dr. Janet Seabrook is so knowledgeable.
Yes,
Yes,
she
she is.
is.
Yes, Chelsea, yes, absolutely. What else do we have here? Watika said before the pandemic, several medical centers had men's health fairs. Yep, like at CoMed, absolutely. So we
yeah.
have to get those up and running again. We just want to make sure everything, you know, is not in jeopardy anymore. How's everything looking with the pandemic now in your eyes before we let you go, Doc?
So the numbers are starting to look more favorable in many communities. In our communities, the number of people having positive outcomes or positive COVID tests have decreased. The number of hospitalizations have decreased, and the number of deaths have decreased. And I think that this is a trend that's going across the United States. My only concern is as we loosen things up, as more people are going out and about without face masks, they're supposed to wear the face mask if they're not vaccinated. And if you're vaccinated, you can go without the face mask. My only fear is that will start to not be as careful over the summer, and those variants that are overseas and in other countries may come over here. And yes, the vaccines are effective, but there are some deadly variants out there, and that's my big concern. That when we start to have some upticks, if we have variants that are going through the unvaccinated people, that's my concern.
Mm. I agree. I do.
I
All
agree.
right. Well, you guys know what we say on this show. Take care of your health. It's wealth. And if you don't have your health, you've lost your wealth. One time
That's
around,
right.
ladies. Isn't that what we said tonight? We said one time around. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Dr. Janet Seabrook, CEO of Community HealthNet of Northwest Indiana. We're honoring her tonight for just being so faithful and beautiful and being here with us. She stops by at least once a month to help us with our questions, problems. You guys support her on her social media pages. She's hip. We may have to get her on TikTok soon too. We might
Yeah.
have she hip like that, so we might have to get on. I'll talk to her people and tell them that she might. It might be to her advantage to do some TikTok videos because she's a great person. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Janet Seabrook. Much love, much respect, and we'll talk to you the next time around. Have a great night.
Bye, Dr.
All right.
Janet.
Bye
Right.
bye.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I just love her.
Absolutely.
She is so amazing. She just
Yes,
really
she
is.
is.
It makes
Yes,
my
she
heart feel
is.
good every time around. Look, I feel as if that's our personal family doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Absolutely.
talk about being that wealthy with that money. I bet you she'll run away with us. I bet you if we
She
get
would.
a nine-figure salary. Well, she got a husband though too. He
That
might say,
what
"Come on, let's all go." Right? He
he
might say, "He
come.
might go."
He
Huh?
come. But
Yeah,
he
he might say,
come.
"Let's all go," because if we get that
But
nine-figure salary
oh
that or
please.
that payment that we owe, I think
Shoot.
Dr. Janet she'll jump ship and run with us. I think she will. We love her. We
She
do.
would
Oh, look, she in the
absolutely.
green room nodding her head like, "Yep, you got it. Yep, okay." Very good. See, we creating an empire. We are creating Wakanda. We are creating our own. And all K Renee and I both need is that nine
Nine
figure
figure.
settlement.
That's right.
And if we get it, baby, it's on. It's
It's
on.
on like popcorn, baby.
It's on like popcorn. It's only the invited and the privileged get to hang out with us on that journey. All right.
Amen to that.
Very good. All right. I want to shout out a couple of people who are watching us tonight. My boy Sean in Las Vegas is watching us this evening.
Oh, hi,
Hey
Sean.
Sean, he knows me way back from TV days.
Okay.
Watika's on here with us. Mario is
Hi,
hanging out.
Watika.
We appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us this evening. Coming up tomorrow night on our Friday show. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Don't forget, we're only on Monday through Wednesday now. Summer hours, summer
Hmm.
days, all that kind of stuff. Tomorrow night, we walk the author of the book, Starlight, Star Bright. Where in the heck is my Mr. Right? And this is a
Oh.
hilarious real life account of lessons learned after more than 200 first dates. And so
Oh,
our guest tomorrow night will talk about her experience. She said no one wants to waste time on dead end dates. I know I don't. I'm not interested.
neither. Okay.
She's going to even talk to us about body language and verbal cues. Body language and verbal cues say a lot of things,
Yes, they
especially
do.
if you, especially if you get a text message from somebody every morning and say, "Good morning, beautiful." That that that's played. That's played.
We
That's paste.
we
That's
we
played.
we could talk. That's a whole show on that. Cause I tell you, there are so many men, Art, that give me that text. I'm like, really? You not that creative? I said, you know what book I wrote, right? You know I'm a creative person, right? That's all you got. You got to come a little bit better than that.
Right, right. What? Good morning, beautiful. How you doing?
Mm,
But I
mm.
think a lot of brothers are limited in conversation.
That's the problem.
I have a lot of women tell me that they've met incredibly wonderful guys, but they are limited in conversation. That their conversation is not intellectual enough for them.
And they're so amazed how a woman's her vocabulary is expanded. I mean, to give you a good example, one of my former beaux, and you know I'm the queen of acronyms. He is the only one I will call this my ship.
Oh,
And
all
when
right.
I said that, he said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Sweetie, you my silver-haired Irish provocateur." That son of a gun was like, "Oh my god, I'm your what?" I said, "You're my silver-haired Irish provocateur." I don't know what that means. Look it up. Look up what provocateur means. He had no idea. He's never heard that word before.
Well, I'm gonna have to look it up, but my phone, I'm using it as a monitor, so I can't look it up because I'm getting around. But okay, so you told this man this, and so see, I just want you to be able to chew gum. I just want you to be fine as hell. And really, if your vocabulary is limited, okay, good. I get it. I've gone out with people, honey, that they had to point to the item as a picture on the menu of what they wanted. So I get that. But see, you want a provocateur.
I want a
So
provocateur. I
you
mean,
want
I love the English language. I love for a man to be able to articulate. Because here's my thing, Art. If you can do the nasty, if you can do all that, then certainly you can pick up a dictionary. If something that you have no idea what it means, look it up. We're not teenagers. We are grown ass people. And so this is what I expect. Maybe I have my expectations a little high. That's okay. Because whatever I expect of a man, I will want to do for myself. But yeah, I remember saying that to him. He was just, he said, God, that got me a little, it got him a little, randy, if you know what I'm saying. I cracked up. I said, you don't know what that means? He's like, no, but it's so cute. And the way you said it, I said, but you'll forever be my ship. In fact, whenever we talk, I say, hey, ship, how you doing? And every time I say it, he just smiles. Because he
well,
know what that
okay.
means.
All right, I just need you to be able to chew gum, be fine as hell, dress well, and you
He
ain't
can
got
do
to
all
really say
that.
much. You ain't got to say much. You ain't got. I do all the talking. I do all the talking. And when we at home, I don't like to talk anyway. Yeah, so you ain't even. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the difference. That's the difference there. That is the difference. All right. So make sure you around tomorrow night with our wonderful guests about her lessons learned dating more than 200 first dates. That ought to be really great tomorrow evening.
Yes.
All right. What else do we have in gossip and entertainment? This has been a great show today.
Oh, you
Oh,
you
and wait,
know.
let me tell you what's so funny before I say that.
Okay.
Today is Call Your Doctor Day. I just read that
Okay.
in my notes. So we just had our conversation with our blessed doctor, Dr.
Yes.
Seabrook.
And, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Chat Daddy, because I will be calling my primary care and say, okay, it's time now. I know she's gonna be like, Karen, where the heck you been? I know it's been a pandemic, and she saw me. I had a telehealth visit last year due to the fact
Okay.
that I was in a car accident. But she was like, Karen, don't be no stranger. So I have to make that
Okay.
call. So
Good.
thank you, Chat Daddy, for my
Good.
reminder.
Good. You are more than welcome. But
Yes.
I still got to talk to somebody else about this whole oral sex thing. I got to. I just, Dr. Janet Seabrook, like talking to your big sister or somebody, and I was like, well, I can't get as grimy as I want to get with her in this conversation, but I am glad to find somebody that we can have
Yes.
that oral sex conversation with. I did feel more at ease tonight, but then I'm also like, that's kind of scary. A whole generation of us did not, now, because again, we had not heard about no human papilloma. Okay. All right. Boy, we telling our age, but let's continue on. What else do we
That's
have
her.
to lose?
Oh, well, speaking of sex, this is a great segue because let's not forget, ladies and gents, the Pied Piper, as they would
Mm,
call him,
right.
Mister. He's known as Robert, or
Yes.
to Chicago he's known as Robert, but to the world he's known as R. Kelly.
Yes.
Well, apparently his lawyers, who've been with him almost since the Ice Age, but one in particular since 2018, they want to be relieved of their duties. And as
Oh
you know, what
boy.
happened with R. Kelly, he's currently, I think he's still in Chicago jail. I don't know if he was transported to New York, but his two major attorneys wants to be relieved of their duties. And
Oh.
and there's been a fight because the two new attorneys don't have enough federal court trial experience. And
Okay.
to quote, I'm going to give a quote from Steve Greenberg, who has represented R. Kelly since 2018. He believes that these new two attorneys will F R. Kelly over. That's a direct quote. Okay,
Hmm.
he feels that they're going to take advantage of him. And here's the thing I was telling you about earlier today, that if you don't have a good support system, no matter
Yep.
what trouble you in,
Yep.
I don't think he's been surrounded by people who really have his best interest at heart. Now, granted, we know what R. Kelly is allegedly charged with. As most of you who don't know, he's been charged with sexual activity with 3 girls under 18, making child pornography, and also racketeering had a racketeering scheme that trafficked women and underage girls. And this is through his whole music career. So now that he's been caught, everybody, if not, is anybody who saw the Lifetime documentary that took place last year,
Right.
he's been in jail. And now his own lawyers who stuck by him, they said enough. They're walking away. And these new lawyers who don't have the experience to go against a federal prosecutor, the old attorneys feel that they're just gonna F him over. And I
You know,
just
the most heart wrenching thing ever, and I was having this conversation with someone else who's been a lifelong Chicagoan who has made quite a name for themselves, and it's really horrible to see somebody's life unfold like this. We knew the backstory of Robert Kelly, and his struggles and his problems, and then to watch him rise to such a level of fame and fortune. And but then I also side eye and look at the number of people who were there by his very side. With this being Black Music Month, this is actually a really interesting conversation. It just makes you wonder. I've seen a lot of things, and again, as we keep pushing for this 9-figure settlement, I would, I just, I don't know. People are probably, R. Kelly is not looking good for him. It's not looking good for him. It's not,
no.
and it's an unfortunate situation, and that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. They have you remember the series by Television True Hollywood Story? That's R. Kelly.
Right, right. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But on a lighter note, one of our favorite iconic characters is coming to Netflix. Someone
Who?
made the announcement. He
Who?
dropped it on Twitter.
Oh my!
Well, she is known as Madea. We
Uh-huh.
thought that Tyler had retired the character. He announced on Twitter today Madea was coming out of him, and she is coming to Twitter, having a movie called Medea's Homecoming. It is set to be released in 2022. So for
Okay.
those who love Madea, she coming back.
Okay, so now I thought Madea died. I thought we had Madea's funeral. I thought,
No, you saw the movie, right? She didn't die in the movie.
Oh, okay. No, no. I gave up on Mordia many years ago. I did. I did. Um, I'm a true theater buff. I love, theater, and nothing
Mm-hmm.
against Tyler Perry. When I do the Juneteenth celebration in Atlanta, I plan on going by Tyler Perry Studios. I just, no, I've not seen much of Madea stuff lately because I'm just not a Madea person. Love Madea, has dressed up as Madea for Halloween, things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
no, so what's the latest now? So Madea is going to be resurrected from the dead, or she never died?
She never died. She's just been
Yes.
retired. He's gonna produce his 12th movie called A Medea's Homecoming. It's set to be released in 2022 on Netflix exclusively. So it's not going to the major screen. It's coming to Netflix. So for those who have Netflix, get ready. She coming, and you
Yeah,
know
it's
she
gonna
gonna.
be
It's gonna be a hot
Madea
mess.
surviving the pandemic. It's gonna be her surviving the pandemic. It's
Yes.
okay. All right, maybe we can get an exclusive on that. We know some people now. We know some people.
Absolutely,
Okay.
I would. And who's to say, Art? She may have a surprise appearance on our show, on your show.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know. You
Never
never
know.
know.
You never know. The real Chat Daddy show. You just never. You don't. All right. What else do we have?
I think I've got all my news. That was enough news. To hear about R. Kelly, from R. Kelly to Medea. Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
enough right there.
Right, right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me look down my list. We mentioned each one of the days today.
Mm-hmm.
We've given the COVID-19 update numbers. We talked about Hong Kong and their problem. Uh, oh boy, they also had a $1 million cash lottery in Washington State too. I guess like the other states. So
Like
I
Ohio.
don't-
We need, you know
yeah,
what? Maybe we need to move to Washington just for a month. Say, you know what? We want to get, not only be eligible for this lottery, let's go get some cannabis. You gonna give me the vaccine, and I get a chance to smoke a joint. Come on now. We need to move to Washington State.
okay, so before we go, there's one other topic that we need to talk about. The other
What's
day,
that,
I
sweetie?
posted on social media. Why is it that Chicago is smelling like weed
I
all
saw
the
that.
damn time? All,
Um,
all the damn time. Okay? Let's try. I'm here in my house Saturday. Housework.
okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
love having my windows open. I love
Right.
fresh air. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
cleaning, it just makes me feel good using my cleaning product, fresh air, all of that. I just love this time of year. My house was reeking of marijuana, and it was strictly from people driving past my home.
Oh wow.
It was not nothing in my building, my neighbor, none of that. Regular smells. I'm
Right.
talking about stuff was billowing into my place and it was from people driving past. I've been sitting at
Wow.
stoplights and have gotten contact highs just sitting at a stoplight.
Oh my goodness. Because I mean, technically, you cannot, while you're driving, cannot be engaged in that because they will pull you over. You can carry it with the Illinois, cannabis. You can do that, but not to be. That's, yeah. I mean, I can understand it, but uh, I feel for you, Chat Daddy. Thankfully,
It, it,
I haven't experienced that over here, but
no, it's so bad. I mean, anywhere you go, because somebody even said on my social media page, I don't know where you talking about in Chicago, downtown, anywhere you go. If you sitting at a stoplight on the expressway, I the smell of weed to the point you be like, what is
wow.
that? Oh yeah, yeah, it's strong. It is strong.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully they'll be, given the fact that there's, cannabis is legal here. Federally, it's not legal. But of course, in, I want to say 36 states, it
right,
is, the recreational use and medical use is legal. The thing about cannabis is the fact that there's no social equity, and that's what the issue is. We ingest a lot of, we smoke a lot of, but we don't own it, and that's
right,
a problem. And
right.
hopefully, Governor JB will be rendering that very
Yeah.
very soon.
Well, somebody told me that we should not be up in arms. They said there are more dispensaries in Colorado than there are Starbucks.
I believe it. That's the
That
to
there
me
are
that's the
more
weed state.
dispensaries than
Mm-hmm.
there are Starbucks. And you know, Starbucks is every damn place. So,
Exactly.
right. Yes. Okay.
I
All
believe
right.
it.
Well, with that being said, I guess we can get on up out of here. It's been a
Oh, but
wonderful
you
evening.
got to talk about the your master class on
Oh yes, yes,
Saturday
yes, yes. No, we want.
and on
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we weren't gonna forget those. Thank you. I appreciate.
Okay.
And you got your nugget, but we'll do the promos and
Yeah.
everything, and
Of
then we'll let you
course.
close out with your nugget. Okay, so here we go. This coming Saturday, the 12th. I do a monthly webinar, and this monthly webinar is to help small business owners, independent people, anybody who has a book, a product, a service, and you want to get it out to the public. You want to know how to make sure you look right, you do things right, you're delivering the right message. A lot of you all are tremendous, but it's how you deliver your message and how it's perceived is what will sell that product or item or whatever the case may be. And so in this 90-minute seminar, work webinar, I teach you guys everything you need to know, and you get a 30-minute consultation. So that could be on anything from, hey, Art, does my room look right? Do I need light? Why is this sound happening like this? Or how do I pitch this? Or whatever the case may be. I met two people today who said they would definitely love to take my class. It is this coming Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. sharp. You'll be done in no time. If you are interested, the email is right there. It is booking at therealchatdaddy.com, booking at therealchatdaddy.com. For more information, you can go there and it'll be right there for you. Right, Kay Renee?
That's right. And let me just say this to your viewing audience. Not only I was a participant, our Dr. Janet Seabrook was a participant in the first
Yeah,
master class. And so
right.
we learned so much from Art. He is very down to earth. He tells it like it is. And even in his consultation, he really, if there's an issue with your lighting or your how you present, he kind of just gives you that knowledge to kind of just tweak it just a bit. So I would encourage you to invest in yourself and take his master class is coming Saturday at 11 a.m. sharp because he
Shop,
starts on
shop,
time.
shop. You
Sharp.
know I'll cut you. Shop. That's right. Basket shop. So if
That's
you're
right.
interested, ladies and gentlemen, please do so. And then this coming Sunday, now that all of the restrictions have been lifted in the city of Chicago, I'm having my 26th anniversary of the original Real Deal Relationship Chat. For those of you all that have come out in past years, this is a wonderful way for you to come hang out with us on Sunday. Oh, I'm positioned right. You did it good too. This coming Sunday, it's the original Real Deal Relationship Chat's 26-year celebration, post-pandemic gathering. New Beginnings is what we're calling it. It's from 4 to 8 p.m. It's a day party, so it's still sun outside. You can come, have yourself a great time. It's going to be at Teriyaki Madness, which is 829 South Wabash. Lyft, Uber there. There's parking in the area. If you're a public transportation taker, it's right there at Roosevelt. It's going to be a beautiful day. So you guys can walk down there and have a nice time. Each admission will include a small teriyaki madness entree. And when I say to you guys, you're not going to be able to eat all the small. That's how great their food is, and a drink. And we're going to have music, conversation. Everything you need and want will be there on Sunday. Cannot guarantee you a man, honey, for $26. I cannot guarantee you a man, but come on out and have a good time. All right. And so if you pull out your smartphone or your tablet like this, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Open your camera. Open your camera. So, yep, you might be on your cell phone. So, you know, whatever. If you open your camera and scan that code, scan that right there. Look at there, look at there, look at there. Look at that code right there, baby. That code, that code. Oh, wait, the other way. Okay, right there. Scan it. Scan it, scan it. And that's how you get a ticket. All right? Yes. All right. So do that. All right. Hey, Renee, we did that doggone thing.
We sure did. We
We
sure
did Sunday,
did.
4 to 8 p.m. Yep.
Yes.
All right. So
And we're gonna have fun too.
Yes, we are. K Renee will be there and we're gonna have a good time. Absolutely. So let's get that nugget of knowledge.
Before we do that, I
Oh,
want to mention that this coming Friday is my podcast with my podcasting sister. And we're
yeah.
going to talk about going vegan. We're going to have a guest that has been vegan for over 10 years. So feel
Nice.
free to stop by Candid Conversations with K and K this coming Friday night at 9 p.m. sharp. You can
Shop.
go to YouTube as well as Facebook Live.
Shop. Shop.
Shop.
9 p.m. Shop.
9
Okay.
p.m. shop. So now here
Hey.
is the nugget. We were, this pandemic has taught us about strength. So I'm going to talk to you about strength. Saying my strength actually has never come from lifting weights. My strength came from lifting myself when I was knocked down.
Mm,
And that's Live Your Truth Tuesday.
mm,
Know
mm.
your strength.
Whoa, I love it. I love it. That's powerful. Yes, know your strength.
Know your strength.
And look, earlier we talked about knowing your worth. I questioned Kay Renee about that 9-figure settlement. But right, but oh, that's a whole nother show, man. That's a whole nother show. That's a
I'll
whole
be
nother
ready
show.
for
Yes,
it.
it is. It really is. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of yet another wonderful, wonderful show. Don't forget, tomorrow night is Wednesday, which is our Friday around here. And on Friday, K&K will have their podcast and talk about going
Going
vegan.
vegan,
Very
yes.
good. That'll be beautiful. Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's get some feedback from our audience. Oh, I like what Tamlin said. Washington is absolutely beautiful.
It
Washington
is.
State, Bellevue, I think it is. It's
Seattle,
beautiful.
right near right across the way
Yeah.
from Vancouver,
Yes,
Victoria.
yes.
It's gorgeous.
It's
I
beautiful.
love.
It really
Yeah.
is. I do love the Northwest. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much to
Thanks,
Wamelda. Wamelda, we
Wilmelda.
love you as well, too. Thank you. Have a great night. You be blessed. Candace, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
You to all of you
Candace.
guys. Watika, Dr. Seabrook, Kelsey, Watika, Mario, Sean. Just thank you guys. Who else? I had Genia on here tonight. Renee,
Renee,
Paulette.
yes,
Yes, Susan, Carlotta. Glad she's
yes.
here tonight. Debbie Green must be out and about in this wonderful weather that she wasn't here tonight with us, but we appreciate you guys. For more
Absolutely.
information about yours truly, I ask you guys to do me a huge favor. Huge favor. Go to the no, that's not it. Look, my fingers have locked up on this keyboard. Lord,
Uh-oh.
I gotta get me another mouse, I think. Here we
Okay.
go. There's the
There
website.
we go.
Visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com for more information about yours truly. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, that's right. Watika gave up meat. She no longer eats meat as well. So
Oh
yeah,
wow. Okay, good for her. Very
absolutely.
good.
Yes, very, very, very good. All right,
Yes.
anything else we need to cover? Oh, she
Well-
said very informative tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Miss
Thank you.
Watika.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love you guys so very much. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7. We'll also talk about Father's Day gifts. No matter what your budget, we'll talk about some things you can do at home for your dad, some cute little things that you can make, create, all of that. And then we'll talk about some luxury items if you really want to spend some money on your daddy, right? On your sugar daddy. On your sugar daddy. On behalf of Kay Renee and yours truly, our Chat Daddy Sims, we thank you guys so very much for being here with us this evening. Don't forget to stop by that website, therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. And then here's the deal. If you're coming to join us Sunday at Teriyaki Madness, we need you to scan that code. Scan that code. Scan that code, baby. That's the code you scan. And just like that, we're saying good night. We love you guys so much, and we're out.
Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.